We are joined by the president of the American University of Kurdistan, Dr. Randall Rhodes. Dr. Rhodes, thank you so much for meeting us today. Could you tell us a little something about yourself in terms of your career path, starting with your education, choice of academic programs, and starting with your career path?
Sure. Pleasure to be here and pleasure to talk to the students and to the public about career advice. I'd like to say that my brother was a lawyer, so it was always about the intention of the family that I would become a lawyer as well. In the United States, the legal degree is a master's degree and a JD. So therefore, your undergraduate bachelor's program is not such an important choice. It is mostly in the humanities or arts and sciences. So when I got to university, I sat down with the advisor and said, in what program can I graduate in 3 years? And of all the programs, the only one that I could graduate in an accelerated format with summer school was art history. So I became an art historian. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out the law career. There were family issues. I went on and got a master's in art history instead and a PhD in art history. And then obviously entered the career of academia. It was completely unplanned. This was not what was intended to be, but you make the best of the circumstances you have. Life goes in a variety of different directions, and you just have to go with the flow.
What advice do you have for others to making a plan, not having a plan, and how to be flexible?
I think the most important thing about a bachelor's degree or about education is to get the skills. So therefore, when I look back at what did I gain from going to the University of Chicago for my bachelor's, it didn't matter if it was a history degree, art history degree, a literature degree, whatever it may have been, to develop the communication skills, the research skills, the ability to write, the ability to think critically, the ability to speak publicly, to get in front of a classroom and lecture to other students, being able to put your thoughts into a nice, neat little package to instruct other people. That is what is most important. You have to have the skills in order to achieve. And it doesn't matter how you get the skills or what the degree program was, the skills are more important than the knowledge. You always can reference the knowledge later, but those skills are what's going to set you up for success into the future.
Dr. Rhodes, what does a typical day look like for a president of a university?
Oh my goodness, it's a horrible mess. So a lot of people come in to the office, they just march right in. There are many questions, there are many issues. But I think the role of a president, as the role of any manager, director, or leader in any type of organization, is to provide the mentorship and coaching. You want to build capacity amongst your employees. You want to provide capacity building for employees so that they will be autonomous and they will be excellent and they will be able to achieve in the future. But sitting there in the president's office, you have to have the knowledge, the experience that you can help people reach their full potential. So whether we're talking about budget, we're talking about academics, we're talking about facilities, we're talking about future opportunities. It's about leading through example, but by knowledge and experience. So it is about coaching everyone around you and helping the university achieve success.
What is your advice on preparing to enter the job market? Suggestions for any CVs and resumes? And what suggestions would you give for interviews?
So obviously I've been on many interviews and I probably sent thousands of CVs out during my lifetime. Many of them, no one's going to respond. You're going to get very few appointments for interviews. Many of the interviews you'll bomb. They'll be horrible. Many you'll think are a tremendous success and they never call you back. My advice would be, now that I interview hundreds of people a year, is that you have to be unique. You have to be distinctive. If I'm sitting there and I'm going to interview 20, 30, 40 people for a job, who's going to stand out from the rest of the crowd? Who am I going to remember? And it may not be that you tell me about a course you took in college. I don't care about those. It may not be what your capstone or research project was while in your senior year. It may be some anecdote, some life lesson, some experience you had that I will remember. That's the student with a cat, or that's the student who went on a trip, or that's the student who created their own business. You have to be distinctive in the marketplace. And don't worry about all of the standard rules and regulations of an interview. Don't worry about all of the, the professional standards. You got to be yourself, because I'm hiring an individual, and then I will invest in that individual. But that individual has to show me they have potential to work within my culture and to move my culture and my university forward.
Well, thank you very much for your time, Dr. Rhodes. Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.